You see it, right?
What?
I'm pretty sure you see it.
Now?
At least you're starting to see it. You're starting to see the reason why the Gorosei, the 5 elders of the world of One Piece, fear Monkey D. Luffy. Nay, the monkey Nika D. Luffy. Luffy come end of the series. Whoo! The things he's doing now. Whoo! The things he's gonna do by then. Whoo! It's going to be on a whole new level, and we're starting to see potentially just the tip of the iceberg of this level. Now, real quick, we understand that Nico Robin is a very tremendously important character, and Robin in the hands of the quote wrong people could usher in global change that the world government absolutely wouldn't want. However, we found out recently, wait, hold on, even though Robin's important, shut that down. I need my best agents right now. Blue Scarf, kill Luffy immediately. When that moment dropped in the manga, following up chapter 1037, when the Gorosei talk about a devil fruit that was erased from the history books, we then understood just how significant and impactful Luffy's true abilities really were. Would they want to sacrifice their best agents to try and capture Nico Robin? Maybe. But in order to prevent the resurgence of Luffy's true abilities, his awakening, that is a guarantee. Yes, agents, kill yourselves. Throw yourselves to Luffy and Kaido and die, just how Leo DiCaprio threw those midgets against a game board in The Wolf of Wall Street. Be the necessary sacrifice. Even making Kaido upset is better than having this ability reach its potential. We would beg for Kaido to be upset at us if the end result was that, compared to the awakening of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which of course we all know now, mythical zoan model Nika. When you think about what Luffy has done in this fight against Kaido, he has done the most zany, the most Looney Tune, Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Toon World type moves, and Kaido, who is renowned to be extraordinarily powerful, has used what I think, I'm gonna theorize here, what I think is his full arsenal against Luffy. Because as is chapter One Piece 1049, it looks like we're at either the final stretch or done. So let's wait and see how things go. But Kaido has been very impressive. But Luffy has done things like grab a lightning bolt, and I'm assuming that he turned the lightning bolt into rubber and then hurled that bolt of lightning at Kaido. Then Luffy has actually changed Kaido's molecular composition and made Kaido rubber. Then he's making the ground rubber, and then when he grabs the ground to rebound that first blast breath in 1044, I think he also rubberfied Kaido's blast breath. A flaming wave hitting the ground should normally explode, even if the ground is rubber. But when it goes boing, like a Sonic platform jump, boing, no. There's something going on with Luffy that's a bit crazy. Because again, he is, after all, a mythical zoan named after a One Piece specific deity, the Nika, the sun god. And when you think about other paramecia, where normally they are restricted in what they can affect for their awakening. So for example, Dofi can turn the environment around him into strings. Katakuri the same thing with Mochi, but they can't turn other people into Mochi or strings. Kid can apply magnetism to inanimate objects and to Big Mom, but he cannot manipulate the environment the same way as Katakuri or Doflamingo. The same for Law. And yet Luffy is doing all this stuff. He's doing everything that the Paramecia Awakenings can do, and then some, arguably speaking, if he can also rubberify energy itself. And then the Gigant. When he first pulled it off, I'd argue, one of the sexiest looking panels we have seen in the entirety of One Piece. The whole series. That was a great shot. And knowing how big Kaido is, we have seen Kaido in the past, let's say during the Oden flashback, just chill on top of mountains. Knowing that Luffy was able to match Kaido in size, use someone like Kaido as a jump rope. Now, he was still falling in air, so it doesn't recount, but the point here still stands. That was freakish, that was nasty, and that was hella impressive. But then he pulls out the Bajrang. He pulls out the monkey massive, absolutely titanic, gargantuan Nika D fist. Yo, this, come on. How many folks actually thought, one in the comment section, okay, well, I'm not streaming. How many folks thought that Luffy could actually make a fist the size of the entirety of Onigashima? At least that's the way it appears to be. And mind you, Onigashima is a place that is filled with gargantuan superstructures. The statues going into the island are substantially bigger than, let's say, an Ors, because the island is kind of made for gigantic people, like we see the number giants. They can fit very nicely inside of Onigashima. Kaido himself, who is also huge, who can sit on top of mountains very snugly, can also fit very easily inside Onigashima in full dragon form. The same thing goes for Momonosuke as well. And Luffy's able to take a fist the size of all of that. All of that. Understand that Luffy himself doesn't really understand his own powers. That Bajrang Gun, the Monkey God Gun, is the first, I think at least, the first genuine Gear 5 attack that Luffy has done. The Gomu Gomu no Thunderbolt? No. The Gigant is a state, not an attack, obviously. Then the Fusen, no, it's just a Fusen. The Jump Rope Skip, that's a very specific attack tailored to giant dragons. And then maybe Lord of the Sky and Skypiea, because he's also a big snake too. All right, fine. So it tailors to giant serpent-like beings. That's it. That's very particular, okay? So the Bajrang Gun, again, I think is the genuine first true attack that Luffy has used in Gear 5. Which means, again, that everything prior to the Bajrang Gun was kind of half-assed. Because Luffy himself had a hard time kind of figuring out what to do with his own powers. If Gear 5 was a bedroom, that would be Togashi's room. You're gonna need a whole team of junk removers and an intervention to clean up all that mess. So if we can apply that logic for his attacks, can't we also apply that logic for the Gigant form? Can't we also apply that logic for the Gigant form? And since Luffy is only really now starting to realize we can truly do in Gear 5, because we have, again, the official Bajrang Monkey God Gun, what if his Gigant form was also somewhat half-assed? Meaning that if Luffy wanted to, he could get bigger. We see with the fist how big that fist is. What if he can make his whole body?
Amazing!
What if Luffy could make his whole body into a giant state so colossal that that fist would actually look normal on his body? We all know the giant shadows pre-Jaya, when Luffy and company ran through those monkeys and it was just towering over them. Seeing Luffy make that shadow on the blue sea through the white sea after defeating NL. If Luffy can literally make his body the size to match with that fist, and that is a true Gigant. Well, let's say beyond Gigant, a Bajrang Gigant, or a Monkey God giant form. Luffy could match the size of something of that scale, which is
Crazy.
haunting. As far as we know, the biggest person in the world of One Piece is the great battleship San Juan Wolf. And according to Vivid Ricard, San Juan Wolf is 180 meters tall, which is around 591 feet. Huge, titanic in size. Now, Luffy in Gigant form, I think is relatively close. I'm not too sure exactly, because this kind of depends on how big Kaido is, right? Again, we've seen Kaido kind of chill on top of a mountain, and Luffy in Gigant form, he can somewhat match, but he's nowhere near as big as Kaido, at least when Kaido's fully extended out. It's unclear. It's very unclear. But the whole point here is this. If Luffy can be around the size of San Juan Wolf when he's in regular Gigant form, when he can go super true Monkey God Gigants, yes, I think that he could potentially match even the shadows that we have seen pre-Giant at the end of Skypiea. So if we could upscale Luffy to that sort of size, and we know that Luffy could affect the environment by touching it and making it rubber, so ideally, in theory, all we have to do is upscale from here. The bigger Luffy is, the more of the environment he can theoretically rubberify. Meaning, because we see here doing fight against Kaido, that Luffy is able to rubberify the things that are near him that he's touching. So when Kaido hits him to the ground that is directly underneath Luffy rubberfies. But now let's say the entirety of Onigashima. Now, if he makes a fist the size of the Bajrang Gun, and then just grabs Onigashima, then in theory, he could also rubberify the entirety of Onigashima. So now we can continue to upscale the madness from here. The red line. The red line! What if you can turn the entire red line into, okay, maybe not the entire red line, but at least a significant portion of the red line into rubber? It's going down. It's going down! There is, I think, a very good idea here, where obviously the red line would have to crumble in some capacity, whether it's through ancient weapons or other means. And then all the oceans that were usually cut off now start to merge into one particular area. This would actually be Sanji's all blue, essentially. And if Luffy could actually make his whole body to that size, have a true monkey god gigant form, and then also at the same time make the entire, or make a large section of the red line into rubber, and then just bring it down, then we can clearly see how that would cause chaos across the entire world. Because if that happens, then the comm belts no longer exist in theory. And the Marines, they do utilize the comm belts to go from one area to another because the underside of their ships are made with Kairoseki. That is actually a huge power play on the Marine side of things, because normally folks can't go to the comm belt unless they're like Rayleigh, where you actually swim it, but normally folks can't go to the comm belts. But if the comm belts are gone, that actually removes a lot of geographical power from the Marines. And then also, it kind of frees up Shirahoshi to have the Sea Kings move anywhere on the planet where she desires. Because the Sea Kings, you could probably argue, because of the red line, they can't go into certain parts of the world. Potentially, of course, potentially. And when I say the Sea Kings, I mean like the big boys, not the small, like Lord of the Coast dudes. Oh my God. No, I mean the apex ones that we see in Fisherman Island that can carry the Noah Ark. The ones I think were stated to be like 5,000 meters tall. The zebra one is huge. And these Sea Kings, if the red line go down, they'd be unrestricted to go wherever they want to go across the entire planet. Mary Jo, the whole land, is going down. It's actually sinking. Ripping the Tenryubito literally from their thrones on high. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can see how the power and the potential of the Nika in full. Woo! It is a very dangerous thing, to the point where I think there's an idea that I have. Here we go. You know what? No. I'm gonna say it, I'll keep it brief. There's an idea that Luffy is an ancient weapon of destruction. He is Uranus. That one requires a little more thought, obviously, okay? But if Luffy can actually reach that sort of size and still affect the environment and make the environment into rubber, how could he not be an H weapon? It's like, yo, like who else could Blackbeard. That's it. Blackbeard, okay? Come end the series? Unless Emu is like that fantastic, the only person that should be stronger than Luffy by then would either probably be Shanks, because, you know, he's the God King, and probably Blackbeard. So it's kind of crazy. It's a wild thought. But again, the Gorosei's words, like, wait, hold on, yo. We have to kill Luffy now because we cannot have this ability awaken. And making Kaido upset is not a good thing, but it's far preferable to Luffy's awakening. Why? There could be a whole host of reasons, and one of those reasons could also be that Luffy if Imu's a fighter, Luffy could counter Imu in some capacity. I did a video on that where Luffy is Joy Boy and NL's Imu. Over here, watch that video. But you can understand now to a degree, Luffy has just gained the ability. He has so much to learn from the power, and the Bajrang Gun is the tip of the iceberg? No. Yeah. Luffy's coming in an absolutely titanic and gargantuan way to physically, literally alter the world.